Dubai, beautiful Dubai. Dubai, a place where people can meet because they issue visas. In contrast to Europe that does not issue visas, or America. It's very difficult to get a visa, especially if you're from Africa. My family is from Africa, and they're not able to visit me in Europe. So I have to meet them in a central meeting place that's neutral in the world. There used to be Switzerland, but Switzerland is not neutral anymore. Switzerland is now waging war in Russia, in Ukraine with Russia, and has also kicked out all Russians based on just because they are citizens of Russia. Even when they are also citizens of other countries, they close their bank accounts because, well, because the government of Russia invaded Ukraine. So Dubai, on the other hand, United Arab Emirates, remains neutral in these kind of conflicts, and therefore can be a meeting place for Russians as well as Europeans as well as Africans, and they can issue visas because they're not worried that people overstay illegally, because they just kick them out when they found someone who's staying illegal. Whereas in Europe, well, they don't kick them out, and therefore they think they don't want to issue even a tourist visa or even a visa to my girlfriend. Even your girlfriend cannot visit your country because, well, they are a risk group, because young people from Africa are considered a risk to overstay their visa, and so even your own family cannot visit you in your own country because of idiot immigration policies, because they refuse to just have a hard stance on illegal immigrants. Then they don't even allow legal immigration. So that's not the case in Dubai. Also, Dubai has low taxes and the functioning market economy. You can actually order things from home, such as, for example, diapers, and they arrive within 10 minutes, and the delivery fee is low. Or a taxi or an Uber or Karim here, well, they are there immediately. Whereas in Europe, some of these services don't even have them. Uber is only active in Belgium since 2 years now, and well, it's not really considerably better than the taxis because they're not. The market is too small. It takes you 15 minutes or half an hour to get an Uber, and the price is relatively high. Or, you can't get delivery for groceries, or it's expensive. In Switzerland, where I live, it's I ordered food, Indian food. It costed me at home. It costed me 200 to 300 Swiss francs, 200 Swiss francs, and I had to wait 2 hours to get the delivery of Indian food in the evening. And I'm actually 1 hour from the capital, so it's not that I live in the mountains somewhere. No, I'm living like close to the capital, and then it takes me 2 hours to get a simple food delivery, and the price is just excessive. That's the problem of Europe. Regulations cause things to be impossible to do or expensive to do, and people just get behind. Like, just unbelievable how a country like Dubai, that was just a desert 50 years ago, is a much more advanced country now than most places, all places in Europe, I would say. Even London and Paris, even Berlin and Frankfurt. Like, Dubai is better in many ways, because it has a functioning market economy. Because yeah, and of course it's a dictatorship, but yeah, a well-run dictatorship is better than a democracy. That doesn't mean dictatorship is better overall. No, I don't say that. I do think democracy is the better, But you need the wisdom of the people also, and that's lacking in Europe. They think too socialist. They don't understand how market principles work, and they vote for stupid shit. And they, like minimum wages, for example. Oh, that's very good, minimum wages, but it's so bad. In Dubai, they don't have minimum wages, I believe. Many people come here and, well, they work for little money, but for them it's a good deal. They're from India or Pakistan or Africa, and they can make more here, even though that's a low wage. It's a lot more than where they come from, and they are able to once every year or once every 2 years, they go home for 1 month or 2 months, because they cannot afford to go home more. They do not have a family life for 10 years or 15 years, but they're able to build, save money, and buy land at home and have a lot better life at home after working 10-20 years in Dubai than what they otherwise would have had. And in Europe it's not possible, because in Europe they can't find a job because of minimum wages. You have to pay them too much, and so you can't employ them. Like that's socialism causes so much things to go wrong, and people, if they don't understand that. I have a hairdresser. I've been talking with him for now 10 years or so, trying to explain to him that he needs to set his prices based on his demand. So he has a waiting list of over a month. I cannot book on his website an appointment because it's always fully booked. So I have to send him an email or call him to be able to book, because it's always fully booked. I tell him, you need to raise your prices. Your demand is too high. Like, if you raise your prices, then actually you're gonna make more money, and people can actually use your website to make an appointment. He says, no, I don't want to do that because I want to be affordable. I want to be affordable for my customers. It's just like you're running your own business and you don't understand. You're thinking like a socialist and you're destroying your business. 10 years I've talked to him and tried to convince him. He still didn't do it. It's a lot worse than that even, but I won't go into it. This live show is about performance of my portfolio and my positions currently and my outlook for 2025. I'm very happy. 2024 was a good year for me, 103% in US dollars. It's of course a stellar year. I'm very happy with that. And I was quite frustrated the past years. I had a very bad year, 2022. I lost 80%. I also published just on Twitter today, on X, the yearly returns I have had since 2008. And you can see that there are 3 years of minus 80%, or minus 61 and 2 of minus 80% plus. And I've had a very volatile performance, and that's something I really decided to change. So my portfolio composition has been different since 2023. I have not been investing 80% in crypto like I did before. No, I was only 40 to 50% investing in crypto. I also invest in growth stocks and in other investments, commodities, and a commodity fund, a growth fund, and one has worked out very well this year. The fund of Emmett Peppers called Accelerated Opportunities, and that's how I made my money this year. And the commodity fund did poorly, lost a little bit of money there. But crypto didn't do that well this year actually. My biggest investment is BCH, but now I also have Zano. It's almost as big now, and a little bit of Ethereum, and then I also follow the portfolio of Sonny Mulder, who's also an X, who is also has a big allocation to Ethereum, so me as well in that part. And yeah, Ethereum didn't do that great, huh? And BCH also not, huh? But Zano did well. But yeah, I've just been building my position. I can't say I made lots of money there yet. But yeah, it's Bitcoin BTC that did very well this year. But yeah, I was not invested in that. So I hope crypto still goes up well in 2025. And if you look at the Trollo chart I also shared this month, and I shared the link again today. I mean, it's likely that it will go up, but at the same time, the overall the stock market is just way overvalued, and I see lots of red flags. And I do not I think it is possible actually that the market collapses tomorrow. And what's the probability of that? I give that a 50-50. So that's relatively high, because valuations are so excessive. The PE ratio is very high. Actually, only end of 90s it was higher, but at the same time, we're in a commodity cycle. We're not like in the 90s in a stock, in a secular stock bull market. We're actually probably, I think we're actually in a commodity cycle, a secular commodity cycle. And therefore returns are not likely to go as high for the stock market, and valuations are not likely to become as excessive as they once went in the 90s, because that happened under cheap commodity prices and an oversupply of commodities. We don't have that today. Many commodities have reached new all-time highs the past few years. I thought initially it was because of the COVID red tape, but actually later I realized that's not true. Actually, gold already went into a shortage in 2019 when mining already then stopped going up, mining supply, and started to go sideways. And since COVID has passed, some commodities have reached new all-time highs, like 2024. What was it? There was one commodity, or several. Was it coffee or cacao? Or I don't remember by head, but some are going up a lot, others going down. But it's not overall. Commodities should be going like have 0% return, and therefore after inflation are becoming cheaper and cheaper. And that's not the case the past few years. So, and also if you look at tensions in the world, typically during commodity cycle, tensions between nations go up because there's a rise. Commodity prices are going up, which causes tensions because things become more expensive for people, and therefore they become more. Governments become less liberal and more restrictive and more protectionist of their economies towards others. And yeah, you do see these trends. So that's why I'm not convinced that it's likely that valuations of stock market will continue to go up. And I think we're likely, and then I stay 50-50, but I would have to say 51% at least. Likely valuation will not go up, the PE ratio will not go up. Therefore, I think there's a good chance actually the market tumbles down, and in that case, the crypto market is just going to tumble with it, and it doesn't matter the crypto cycle. I don't believe that anymore. The crypto market has become way too big to be able to ignore other markets, and so I don't believe in a 4-year cycle for cryptocurrency. I've never had it because there was clearly the cycle became a bit longer over time. But today, with a cryptocurrency being valued 3 trillion, a lot depends on what the stock market will do, and therefore, yeah, I've locked in gains from my hedge fund that's mainly invested in Tesla into cash because, yeah, I think the market can start correcting strong, and the commodity and the cryptocurrency market will just tumble with it, and therefore, yeah, I need to build up cash. I need to start protecting myself, and I'm able to do so only now because last year, end of 2023, I had a good return, but I could not sell cryptocurrencies for the same reason I can't sell them today, that they are still seriously undervalued altcoins. So it makes no sense to sell them. I can also not, and therefore I cannot lock in any gains. I cannot build up cash with that position. But the same was true last year with Tesla and this hedge fund from Emmett Peppers. It did not, actually it went just sideways. There was no returns there because Tesla, well, it did go up, but yeah, when you're investing in a hedge fund that's using options, like that doesn't mean your calls will go up, because they roll over, and actually, even though Tesla went up, the fund not. This year is the other way around. Tesla went up, but the hedge fund went up a lot more thanks to an option strategy. And so that allows me to lock in profits, but also it's justified, I believe, to lock in profits because Tesla is part of the Magnificent Seven, and they have done tremendously well and are at historical high market penetration or market capitalizations compared to the rest of the stock market. So it's not likely they will continue to perform well relative to the rest of the stock market. So it makes total sense to lock in profits there, and I'm happy I'm able to do so, but it's also the only position I'm able to do so. So that's what I did. Let me take a look at the questions. Thank you all for joining. Hi Isabel, how are you? She says Happy New Year to you and your family. Many greetings from Madrid. Just moved here from Valencia a couple days ago. Oh wow, that's nice. I didn't know, Isabel, you live in Spain. That's really cool. I have a nanny who lives in Madrid. Yeah, but I've never been there myself. I did see Valencia, a very beautiful city. And Happy New Year to you too, Isabel. Crypto Texty, Happy New Year. That's great that you enjoy the time in Dubai with your family. Dubai is a great place. It certainly is, Crypto Texty. A lot better than Ukraine, where you are. So happy you're still alive. And I hope that 2025 may be a great year for you, that the war may be ended there in Ukraine, and that you may be able to be free again to do other things in your life and be in a safe place. Isabel says, have you visited Abu Dhabi already? I've heard it's a lot more relaxed, less traffic, more family friendly, nicer beaches, but less partying and action compared to Dubai, of course. Yeah, I've never been in Abu Dhabi. I didn't research this yet, so it's good to hear your look on that. Maybe next time. Where are you from? Says Vlad. I live in Switzerland. Jeremy Nee says, hello from Paris. Hello, Jeremy. So, what's my recommendation for 2025? I think that I watched the video that Curtis posted about his outlook for 2025. And yeah, he's very bullish, I would say. He says himself he's cautiously bullish. But cautiously bullish would mean that you have a cash position, or you have some hedges on. And I don't think he has. He did not share that he has that. He did recommend what one can do, but he doesn't have it himself. So I wouldn't say that there is caution there in his portfolio. Although he is investing in real estate, he shared before, I interviewed him before, and of course that's a more less volatile investment. And actually it's in Japan, the market that went down for 30 years. So yeah, that's one investment that may do well even if the stock market does poorly. And the cryptocurrency market, or in his case Bitcoin BTC, does poorly. He says he will start looking in profits, but I think that you should already do that if you're sitting on nice gains with BTC or Palantir or Tesla. Like, I think that we already reached levels where looking in profits is very important, because I'm a lot more skeptical of all these macro statistics. I've gone through that in another in a tweet actually, and like there are certain statements that you can make about the macro that are bullish, but if you think about it, they are not bullish because they are based on false numbers. For example, one of the few strong points that are still there when you look at macro is that you have still earnings growth in companies in the stock market of like 4 to 5%. But if you look at where these earnings come from, it's all from the Magnificent Seven. Actually, they have like 20-30% earnings growth, and then the rest of the S&P 500, and that's like 97%. They have 0% earnings growth. So that's a very concentrated situation that's typical for the end of a bull market. If I'm not mistaken. And one moment. Yeah. What's up? What is there? What is there? What is there? No car. No car. But 5% earnings growth actually after real inflation is 0%. And they say real earnings growth. Like I did the calculations. Actually, if you count for real inflation, it's 0%. So that's not a good number. One moment. What is it? We're not going to Mama now. You play here on the beach, okay? Yes. Yes. Coat. Here, take your t-shirt. Unemployment is starting to rise. Yes, it's still relatively low, but yeah, these are government statistics, and they can be revised later. And we all know the real deal here in the West. There's so many people actually that don't even look for a job. They are not part of the statistics. We all know reality is that you make less and less over time with jobs. It's a real problem. Men don't make enough money. Women do, but men don't. And they have to look for other ways to make money. In the corporate sector, it's very hard to build a career these days. In traditional sectors such as being a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer, it's very hard. It's really actually in the financial sector that Europe is still standing out in America compared to China. China is still very poor with investments and banking and funds, but in manufacturing, of course, and services, they're just outcompeting us. And therefore, the video I'm making and the work I'm sharing is very important. That's where the opportunity is. China does not allow cryptocurrencies. There's little development of cryptos there or in Dubai. Not really. That's still, if you look at what are the Europeans and Americans doing, well, that's what they still do well. But it's also where you need to stand out. And I believe that If you're just investing in BTC, you're not doing better than the Chinese. They know how to invest in BTC also. Huh? That's the everybody knows how to do that. That's easy. Huh? But to look into the cryptocurrency sector critically at valuation versus utility, huh? And where the future is, well, the answer is not BTC clearly. Huh? BTC is the amount of transactions is low. Huh? It's scaling. Well, it's refused to scale. It's just hijacked. Huh? If you look at it, you can see that. Huh? It was hijacked. Roger Ver wrote a book about that, showing the whole history of it, and the valuation is extremely high for what kind of like future it has. Huh? But there are other coins that are likely will see real adoption as a currency and are already being used a lot more as a currency, such as Monero and Ethereum. And of course, these are better investments that will likely go up more in the future, and that are unlikely to be hyped coins or one of those coins that is big now and in a couple of years dies. You have so many of them. Solana, for example, everybody's hyped about that, but that just may disappear, just like Link was a big one the previous cycle, and now you don't hear much about it. You have so many of them. You need real adoption. It needs to really be used as a currency, and it needs to have unique properties that allow you to do something with crypto that you can't do with fiat. And privacy, for example, is something you can do with crypto but not with fiat. And so that's why I invest in Zano, because it's a privacy coin, and that's something only crypto can offer. The Chinese are not offering that, or the Arabs, they're not developing privacy coins. But everybody needs it in the world. The Chinese need it, the Russians need it, and the Europeans need it, and the Americans need it. Everybody or many people need privacy for their payments, for certain payments, and they need privacy for their capital. And so that has a future. Public, transparent blockchains, transparent payments also has a future. But it likely will not be on BTC. It'll probably be on Ethereum or some other coin. I still have Bitcoin Cash. I believe less in it today than years ago, but it's not a sell for me. It's worthy of an exposure, because the story is not known. Even not in the cryptocurrency world these days, people don't even know who Roger Ver is, or they don't even know what Bitcoin Cash is. They don't even know that Bitcoin BTC refused to scale on chain, or that Lightning Network is a failed project. It was a diversion. Like even the cryptocurrency investors, many are newcomers and they don't know, but they do notice inevitably that payments from BTC are expensive, that over time they will use other coins if they want to get anything done, that they will notice over time, but they don't notice now because the only thing they do is they buy BTC to invest in it, to store it. They don't use crypto. And over time they will discover these things and they will start investing in other cryptocurrencies. And so that's what you need to build in or today, and that's what you need to invest in today. Ja, we gaan een t-shirt aandoen. Let me look at the questions. Did you get rich from crypto? Yes, I was able, thanks to investing in crypto, I have most of my returns. So yes, my average return is up now to, it was only 20% last year because I had lost a lot. It's back to 25% per year on average since 2008. And These are very good returns. And yeah, that's how you can make money, if you invest well over time. Even if you start with a small amount, if you continue to invest well on average over time, that will allow you to get rich or become financially free and live where you want and do with your day what you want. But you need to everybody has a boss. And if you're running a business, your customers are the boss. And if you don't think that's the case, well, you will discover sooner or later that they are the boss. Because without customers, you have no business. And the same is true as an investor. You're not running a business, but you need to invest in what things will use in the future. Otherwise, you'll lose your money. And you cannot really stray away from that. You're not the boss. The market is the boss, and the market will decide what will go up in value in the long term. In the short term, that's not the case. In the short term, there's lots of pumps and dumps. There's lots of just people that are wrong and that are wrong together and cause markets prices to go too high or too low, and that's where the opportunity lays. One moment.
Hi. Come. I'm going back up there.
Kom.
Yes.
Allez. So I hope that crypto goes up in 2025 and some of my altcoins go up and I lock in profits. I've now, in contrast to before, I've set a sales plan. I set up a sales plan and you can also find it. I posted it this month in December, but my first position where I will be selling 25% is at 5 trillion. We're at 3.5 trillion, so that's not far away. If we reach 5 trillion in 2025, I'll be locking in 25% of my crypto into fiat profits and then see what I do with that further, and I'll just keep selling 25% at different intervals, and that's basically the moment we go into overvaluation on the Trello chart. I start locking in profits. Before I would only lock in profits if you're in serious overvaluation, but I don't dare to do that anymore because that strategy really failed last time. And also last time in 2022, when I analyzed where I went wrong, it was really ignoring some very important indicators. One of them was also the PE ratio. Later I looked at what did I overlook in 2022, because I thought the market would go higher and I didn't sell anything. But what were the indicators that actually risk was high and you should look into profits? And it was also the PE ratio then, as well as some other things like the Buffett indicator, which is the value of the stock market versus GDP. Like these kind of indicators are now flashing red again, and so, but a lot more things are flashing red this time compared to 2022 actually. Sonny Mulder goes through that very well. He has a whole table of red flags one should watch out for. And from the 9 indicators that he's following, or 12 indicators, about 80% of them, 8 in 10 or so, are flashing red, or 7 in 10. And the other 3 in 10 are things like, earnings are still going up. But you can certainly put some question marks there. There's some other things that still look good, but it's very few things. So I think that is very important to lock in profits if you can. Doe maar je broek aan, ja. Pak je broek. Pak je broek. Don't be a shitcoiner, says Dennis. Yeah, that's an empty remark. BTC is not worthy of an investment, of your money. Tech says, I wish there would be a better fork of BTC for payments with diminishing supply like Bitcoin Core. Well, that's Bitcoin Cash. If you want a fork, there are several projects that forked away. You have Bitcoin Gold, you have Bitcoin Cash, and from Bitcoin Cash you have different forks, BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi, Vision, and then you have eCash also. But both of them were not a success, and Bitcoin Cash is still the main fork that forked away from Bitcoin BTC and is continuing to be developed well and invest and has, but it has one big problem. It's adoption, a use case, a unique USP, unique selling proposition. It's an honest coin. It's being developed, but like the focus was on merchant adoption, brick and mortar stores, and that failed. So now it really needs to find a new use case where it can say like, look, this market is ours and we are leading there. And there used to be brick and mortar, but that's not the future for crypto. We missed that window. Bitcoin BTC missed that window, and after that Bitcoin Cash was not able to repair this, and therefore that's a lost cause. But yeah, that's very important, I believe. But yeah, there are some that are leading in use cases. Monero is leading as a privacy coin, and is if people want to do private payments online, that's the coin they use. And yeah, if people want to do DeFi, decentralized finance, like take crypto loans, they will use Ethereum. So these are coins that are leading. Therefore, I think they are good investments. But then, of course, there are some problems. Like Monero has a bad reputation because it's used in the dark markets and it's being banned from more and more exchanges. That's why I believe in Zano, because we really need a privacy coin with a good reputation, and Zano can be that one. Also, like, you need more than just a coin, you need also assets that you can trade in privacy, and Zano is offering that. You can just launch an asset, but you cannot do that on Monero. You can launch an asset, and probably stable coins. Actually, I think that already started, that you can trade stable coins on Zano in privacy. That's where the future lays. Roger Ver shared his vision, and yeah, I agree with him. So I started investing in it last year, 2024. Yeah, I think that can still do well because the market cap is low. It's worth 200 or 300 million. That's cheap compared to its competitors. Monero is 5 billion, and Bitcoin Cash is maybe 10 billion, and Ethereum is 300 billion or 500, and Bitcoin BTC is 2 trillion. So like its competitors are valued a lot higher, so there is much more room for upside there. What token do you hold right now? I did not invest in any tokens. Just as an experiment, I launched a token, MDM Ventures on Zano, that I just distribute for free to people that send me their Zano address, and that's going well. But Zano is a privacy coin, so every transaction is mixed, and to create privacy, and so that can be slow sometimes to send a transaction. It's okay, yeah, it's not immediate like with Bitcoin Cash, but it may take 5 seconds or so. But then after that, yeah, you can only do 2-3 transactions, and then your coins are locked for 10. Yeah, it's not so practical, but I believe that this will improve over time, and then you have both speed as well as privacy. Am I an actor? No. Mostly Ethereum, Rocket Pool is here. Tekna says that he's retired since 2021. That's great to hear, man. Devon Luster. Happy Wednesday. Hello from Tucson. It's another beautiful day. Yes, it is. Also here in Dubai. Someone says here, Tekna, the unemployment in US starts to seem fishy. Yes, it's starting to rise. And he says, and unpaid loans and credit card debt seem fishy. Same with mortgages. Yes, indeed. These are red flags. Do you still invest in gold? Asks Valor. Not yet, but it's on my radar. I think that if gold corrects, I will invest. Yeah. If it would, it went to almost 3,000, I believe. But yeah, I think it should correct, and then I would invest. But I'm planning to invest. My commodity fund from H Copy. He does not invest in gold, but he invests in uranium. The commodity itself. He also invests in some other commodity stocks, such as an oil mining equipment company that has a PE ratio of only 2 or 3. It's called Valaris. And then also in St. Joe, real estate or land, a construction land project in Florida. He looks for value and yeah, I think that's a good investment. But indeed, physical gold also makes sense, but it's a bit too hype now, and especially if you look at historical valuation of gold, it's relatively high, I would say, and it does need a correction for it to become more attractive. Issue with BCH and BSV says that that they are bad actors in the ecosystems. I don't agree with that. The BSV, yes, but that's that reached the end of the story. That Craig Wright guy lost his court cases and BSV collapsed. I think it's over and out here. And Bitcoin Cash does not have bad people. People think Roger Ver started that. That's not true. Roger Ver joined later. I invested in BCH before at the beginning when the fork happened, and Roger Ver took another half year or so before he decided to invest in Bitcoin Cash. But Roger Ver is not a bad actor. He's a good actor. It's just pure propaganda that from the Bitcoin BTC club or the maximalists that just make false accusations. If you follow Roger Ver's work, you know that he's been a straightforward, honest guy that cares about crypto adoption, and has always invested in several different, multiple cryptocurrencies, because he understands the free market very well. That's his foundation. He came to liberalism or anarcho-capitalism as a philosopher from reading books on economics and markets, and that's how he discovered cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and why he invested in it early, and he always invested in multiple projects. He's never been a maximalist, and kudos to him, because it's very tempting to become a maximalist when you're an early investor in something, but he never did. Tekna says privacy coins exist and will exist, but they will not join the traditional financial banks and centralized exchanges. Well, I don't know if that will turn out to be true, because my impression is that the tide has turned. With the election of Donald Trump, the tide has turned. The previous government, Biden administration, Democrats went against crypto, and then if they would remain in power, I would agree that and Europe just copies America, and therefore a coin like Monero would continue to be banned from exchanges, and they would continue to attack these privacy coins and crypto in general, to keep it small. But I think with this new government of Donald Trump, or the Republicans embracing crypto, I believe that that's a big change for the markets, and likely there will be a more lenient regulatory environment for cryptocurrencies, meaning also for privacy coins. Likely this will stop where Monero get kicked off of more and more exchanges. It's still trading on Kraken, which is a major exchange, but I think you will see a turnaround where other bigger cryptocurrency exchanges will start to trade it again. That's my guess. It's just based on how I capture and how I see things evolving. But I could be wrong about that. It's just a guess. We'll have to see. But you know, when I invested originally in Bitcoin, it was very early in 2011. Actually, Bitcoin was at the time something very controversial, and you didn't dare to share that you invest in it because you know that this can cause problems later. It was not clear whether it was legal or illegal, and if it could become illegal, then well, you could get trouble. So, and that's a little bit the same with privacy coins today, and it's the same with many new technologies like Uber, for example, ride sharing. Actually, that was actually illegal in many in the beginning because taxis had a monopoly, legalized monopoly, and they had to break the law and get lots of problems in the beginning. Same with Airbnb. Like, yeah, that's that kind of business model idea that you can rent your own house for short duration. Yeah, actually, it was not banned or outlawed, but it's so new that it's also not like clear. Is it legal or illegal? But if it makes sense financially for many market participants, adoption goes up, and with democracies, and you see that politicians have to get votes, and therefore if indeed the majority of people want to use this or value it, then the politicians will in order to get votes before it. And that's that dynamic we've clearly seen happening in America, and that's why I say from the start, like, yeah, I do believe democracies are the best system. You can see that when it comes to cryptocurrency, like in China, it's still verboten. Like, it's very easy for a dictator, because he doesn't have to be elected, to just outright forbid certain things that are popular with people. And that's not good for the people. So we'll have to wait and see, but I think that government, you know, when I was a kid, actually, governments were bigger. For example, I was raised in Belgium, and at the time you had telecom monopolies. There was only one telecom provider who offers telephone lines. There's no competition. There were just landlines, and no competition, and an expensive service, and slow support, and now the market is totally liberated, and I think the same will happen with currencies, and therefore cryptocurrencies, private currencies, and privacy coins likely will continue to take share from the monopoly, which is the fiat currency, US dollar, euro, but it will also expand the market a lot. Whereas before, many people didn't have a phone or only one landline for the whole family. Now everybody has their own phone and uses phones a lot more. The same will be true for currencies. Like before, maybe only the head of the family has a bank account and does all the payments, and all the other family members, including wife, children, do little payments. Do use currency little. That will change. And likely even kids will have currencies and make payments left and right on a daily basis, with the liberalization of currencies. So that's where we're heading. Likely. Valor says, I just want to thank you for what you did for Noise and Rethought Cash education. Thanks, really appreciate it. You're welcome, Valor. Yeah, it's a pity this project did not succeed. I invested in those for Bitcoin Cash. You had Rethought Cash and you had Noise.cash. But yeah, you know, with entrepreneurship and investing, you have to throw many darts for one to stick and become successful. But if you throw 10 darts and only one becomes successful, you'll make back 10 times as much than what you lost in the 9 other projects. So that's how it works. And even in failed projects can actually bring something of value like you shown to us here. So that's great to hear. Thank you. What do you think about Hims and Hers Health Inc? I don't know that company. Tekna says I wish the European Union would follow the United States, but in 4 years it might not happen. The EU is much more left-leaning. I really wish that would be the case, but it might be wishful thinking. Yes, I agree with that, but I think that in Europe they are waking. Of course, there's wishful thinking on my part also, but I do see a change in the political landscape. I mean, the beatings are just really, really painful. Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, these countries are just losing their industries and are clearly getting behind. Even the electricity consumption is going down. That's an actual real collapse. Like, they're really destroying their economies and costing people. And that's changing now. Like the loose immigration policies have just caused too much immigration. People are tired of that. The green and socialist economic policies have caused just people to not to see their lifestyle go down, because prices go up left and right, but their incomes are not. And so they notice that they have less these days than before. People cannot do these far trips anymore that they used to be able to do. Plane tickets became too expensive. Like, people have to cut back. And therefore, they won't change. And well, that's what they're voting for. You see a shift to the right also in Europe, from left to right. And I think this will be good for, the change of immigration policies and the change of economic policies. So I do have hope for Europe. But yeah, and I have to thank, of course, Elon Musk here, who had a big influence buying Twitter and X and having that platform change from left to right, and helping Donald Trump get elected. He's quite the hero, that guy, unbelievable. So yeah, he did well. But Tesla, I think, is not likely to. I don't think financially it's now 1.5 trillion. It's part of the top 10 companies in the world. Compared to its revenues, I think the biggest critique you can say, it says that Tesla revenues has gone sideways. That's the problem. But now also the amount of units sold, the amount of cars sold has gone sideways. So last year revenues flatlined, and now also the amount of cars sold flatlined. And that in the past that has happened before, but like, it needs to really up his game again. And I don't think valuations are likely to go up more. And therefore I think it's a sell, even though it's of course a great investment in the long term. In the short term, I do not believe so. Broek aandoen. Ja, we gaan ons broek aandoen. Kom. Mark, do you run any company these days? I'm finishing my studies this year and planning to start something myself. Stop eens met dat roepen. Okay, one moment, I put the pants on of my kids here. You can ask more questions, otherwise we end the call. maar je broek aan. Sta eens recht, kom. Ja. Up. Up. If you can invest in SpaceX, I think that's still a good idea. But yeah, values are lower. It's 300, 400 billion, but it's a private company. But if you're interested in that, I can send you a link of a way to invest in it. Ja. Wil jij je broek aandoen of niet?
Ja.
Oké, goed.
Galu jalan.
Okay, yeah, good. So, but starting company is a good idea. I think I would have done that, and I've tried that actually several company ideas, but they failed in my 20s, and then I had done well investing during the financial crisis of 2008. I shared also my track record for the first time every year, my return of every year since 2008. And in 2009, I was really looking for what will I do with my life, and I said, look, I had been a salesman, I had started companies but failed, and I had done well during the 2008 financial crisis. You can see also my returns. I had lost 10%, but actually that was well done compared to the average investor, and I'd seen the bank crisis come in 2005 and 2006. I warned my family for that, and that's why I had only a 10% loss. And that's where I decided to focus on investing. And since then, I've not tried to start a company yet. I've played with ideas, but I never actually took the step. And yeah, the main reason why I'm not taking the step lately is just I have a polygamous relationship, several girlfriends. I like to have many children. I have 6 already and counting, hopefully. So I lack time, and my investments take my focus, and therefore, I've not taken the step to launch a company. But if you don't have all these responsibilities and activities going on in your life, then of course, start a company is the best thing you can do, and the best way to make money is to try to provide a service or a product for people, and you learn a lot from that, even if you fail. And persistence pays. So yeah, good luck with that. So yeah, thanks so much, Tekna. Zeg, you need to take a simpler name to pronounce. But thank you for all your questions and remarks. I'll checked on X, and there are no questions there. So yeah, I think I went through everything. Thank you so much for joining, guys, and I wish you a good time, a great 2025. Please sign the petition to free Roger Ver, because we need more signatures. Sign up also your loved ones. Ask if you can sign with their name also, because Roger Ver needs your support to be able to get to conquer and overcome this very, very nasty attack by the US government to put him in jail for the rest of his life based on false accusations of tax evasion. But clearly it's not for that. It's because he has talked critically about the United States government for many years, and this has come back to bite him. But it's actually thanks to him that cryptocurrencies have flourished as much as they have done. It's thanks to him that I invest in crypto and many others, and we owe him a lot for that. So please help him to sign the petition. It would be of great value. Have a great day.